Welcome to the Mars Survival Challenge, where the oxygen recycling system can only last 31 days and the food supply is a joke. NASA only prepared 40 days worth of food for 6 people. To make matters worse, the next manned spacecraft to Mars won't arrive for another 4 years, even if the spacecraft holds out that long. The onboard chef is going to be just as Mark Damon opened the hatch. A crazy idea exploded in his mind. He was no ordinary astronaut, he was NASA's top survival expert. With reckless confidence, he recalled nearly all the farming knowledge from Earth. With soil, he could work miracles. He was no longer just a doomsday astronaut, he was about to become Mars' very own farmer. Mark quickly yanked up the quick-growing vegetables, transforming into Mars farmer in a matter of seconds, ready to get to work. He meticulously gathered all the solar panels capable of capturing the best sunlight, precisely calculating their angles to guarantee they would receive every minute fraction of Mars' faint sunlight around the clock. As for where to plant, well, since he was the only one left, he could do whatever he wanted. Thus, the first Martian greenhouse was born. The soil issue was easily solved, plenty was outside. Only adding fertilizer was a turn-off. Mark would mix his masterpiece with Martian soil. He halved his precious potatoes and carefully planted them vertically, silently praying they'd thrive on Mars. However, there was still a significant issue waiting to be tackled on this red planet, the matter of water irrigation. Sure, soil can replace fertilizer, but you're in for water. That's unrealistic. Luckily, Mark was clever. He decided to synthesize water using molecules. Ideals are grand, but reality's stark. He forgot one detail: water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is super flammable. Just a little spark and the entire living quarters could become a fireball, definitely a WOW moment. Fortunately, Mark found the issue: exhaled oxygen disrupted molecular balance. Just on an oxygen mass before lighting up. Now everything was set. All he needed was some tender, loving care and a dash of patience. The power of knowledge would bring this incredible dream to life, growing food on Mars. Perhaps those seemingly insignificant potato sprouts on Earth hold greater historical significance here than the Apollo moon landing. Just as Mark was furiously planting potatoes on Mars, a beautiful engineer at NASA casually glanced at the big screen and spotted something unusual. The Mars habitat had undergone some changes. The satellite images showed that the solar panels had been rearranged. Had it not been confirmed that outer space was devoid of aliens, she might have thought it was haunted. Akon, I need a Facebook contact in Pennsylvania. It's him. Yes, emergency situation. Soon, Supervisor Vincent confirmed that Mark was indeed alive. This news exploded like a bomb within NASA, and Director Sanders' face turned a deep shade of panic. He had just presided over Mark's funeral and now had to inform the world that this astronaut was very much alive. But it seemed unrealistic to rescue him now. After all, each landing mission took years to prepare. If they did nothing, it would become NASA's largest disgrace in history. Could you please tell us how you know we're lying to you? We're working. Are you still alive? We'll check on you. Will you back down? Mark was blissfully unaware, busy brainstorming an unprecedented expedition. He was driving the rover across 3,000 kilometers of Martian wasteland, heading for Ares for landing site, the only hope he had of getting back to Earth. First, he had to solve key issues. The rover only travels 35 km on a single charge. After that, he had to return to base for a recharge. Sure, he could use solar panels for power, but the stored energy would never last through Mars' freezing nights. Mark made the bold decision to risk it all, preparing to dig out a heating unit from under the base. This device was loaded with deadly uranium and is-238. A little mishap could leak radiation strong enough to send him straight to heaven. But for Mark, this was hardly anything significant at all. He'd rather freeze into a popsicle than not have his air conditioning and music. Meanwhile, Director Sanders had to summon the heads of various fields to draft a rescue plan. But even constructing the most basic rescue vehicle would take at least 9 months. Sanders had to issue a do-or-die order. Little was known about Mark's endurance, and without a solid rescue plan soon, it was entirely unpredictable how the American public would react to the experiment. Compared to NASA's tension, Mark felt relaxed squatting in his Martian farm now, planting his very first batch of all-natural organic Martian potatoes. Now that food was taken care of, Mark had an even crazier idea. He wanted to reach out to Earth. The key link between them was the 1997 Mars Pathfinder. If the communication devices in the Pathfinder were still operational, he just might be able to contact Earth. The tech supervisor, Vincent, glanced at Mark's rover path and immediately understood his intentions. He quickly gathered the tech team that worked on the Pathfinder project to dig out this ancient piece of machinery. With this, Mark could activate the rover's transmitter, and the matching equipment back on Earth could receive the signal. Finally, the two worlds, 140 million kilometers apart, were simultaneously reaching out. One side full of the hopes of billions, the other a single person's desperate fight for survival. The space rescue was officially on. However, since it only sent static images, they needed a more efficient way to communicate. Thankfully, Mark found a notebook in the storage box left by his buddy, filled with 16 confidential codes. Using these, Mark learned of Earth's rescue plan and managed to modify the Pathfinder system, allowing him to share real-time communication via computer. Remember, if you find this entertaining, don't forget to like and subscribe.